Hello and welcome. My name's Super Saiyan and this is my first look at the new Imperial Knight that Games Workshop have showed some images for, showed some video for, and like the Astraeus super heavy tank, I wanted to do a video as soon as possible and give you my take on it, explore all the features from what I can see, weapons, modelling, parts, you name it, bringing together all my experience over the past well over 20 years now and give you my take on it. So you'll find it in the Warhammer community website. I think it was released, the news was released a couple of days ago. If you go onto the community website and you just click on the breaking news major reveals, it's down here under this video. So there's no actual picture of the Imperial Knight. There's just an automatic thumbnail kind of picture of this Imperial Knight pilot. So what we'll do is we'll play the video and we'll go through some of the parts. Now, I won't make it full screen, but we'll get to the juicy bit, which is basically giant freaking robots, which is about 54 seconds. So, first image here, we can see this massive plasma cannon. Like a plasma eradicator, I think, that the Redemptor Dreadnought has, but I think it'll have some better rules. I'm hoping it has some better rules. I mean, it looks beefier, it looks bigger than the plasma eradicator. Very big plasma weapon. You've got the joints, so I'm assuming you can tweak it and maybe leave it loose so that it can angle up or down. Got a nice sort of opening there. You got some sort of shielding, and you got some coolant, I want to say, some cabling, and so on. Then if we carry on a little bit, the next shot is the front of the new Imperial Knight. Now I'm calling it a Castellan. They might call it something else, but who knows. Castellan is usually the one that's got lots and lots of guns and things on it. Okay, so you get the front of the Imperial Knight here with it looks like dual melter guns, I want to say. I don't think they're multi-melters. They could call them something different, like dual melter guns or dual melters or something like that. But whatever they are, I'm pretty sure they're going to be 2 shots each. So you've got 2 shots there. I want to say 12 inches as like a anti-armor point defense kind of thing. But normally you'd have, anti-troop weaponry. Maybe you can equip it with dual heavy stubbers or something like that as an option instead. You only see one sort of weapon loadout in this trailer. And this is what it has. It's kind of equipped with, against anti-armor. One thing I will say is I don't think the modelling is the best. Whether that was the person that's glued this together or whether it's just part of the process. But as you can see, there's like a level here that isn't quite straight. It's not flush with the other side. I don't think that's the camera angle. I think that is actually machined that way. That's a little bit disappointing if that's going to be the finished product. And the other thing I've noticed is again, if that is supposed to be level, this side certainly isn't. You can see that this is bent upwards. Now that signals to me that this whole carapace bit, including these, like this bit, maybe not those lenses, but this bit here and this bit are connected to this, and there's a bit of warpage because the plastic piece is so big. That's what it signifies to me. I could be completely wrong, but that's what it looks like. This side is definitely more level and this side is raised, and that does happen. We've seen it happen in the Death Guard tank and some of the other plastic kits as well, where you've got a larger flatter piece of Games Workshop plastic, and it has warped a bit. You do get warpage, but not nearly to the same extent as Forge World resin. Let's carry on. So here you get a very quick shot here of this massive cannon. Now it looks like a battle cannon, it does, but it's got all these extra things and gubbins and stuff going on with energy. I think it's more energy I want to say it's more of like a mini turbo laser. That's what I'm going for here with this, which would be absolutely fantastic. If it's just a battle cannon, then that's going to be poor. But I don't see any kind of like magazines or cartridges or whatever that would hold that kind of ammunition in. It looks more like an energy long range kind of weapon, a bit like the volcano cannon on a Reaver, a bit like a turbo laser. So we'll see. Hoping it's more of that rather than a battle cannon type of weapon. So you get a little bit of a shot there. Also, there's this big piping thing through, and the end barrel looks too thin to fire any kind of, you know, kind of ballistic kind of rounds out of. You get an image here. This is why, to me, it seems like mostly new parts. I don't think they've recycled much of the kits into this one. The front facing helmet looks great. I really like this split down the middle, and then you've got these visors. You've got a brand new kind of naming plate there. Let's carry on. This just shows you a little bit of the shoulder pauldrons. Shoulder pauldrons aren't huge. They're certainly not as sort of like big as the Imperial Knight ones, but what it does have is this extra bit of kind of weapon armor here, which is very, very reminiscent of the Warlord Titan. To me, this looks like a mini Warlord Titan. It really does. I'm very, very excited. Even more excited to give you a size comparison between them both. But this kind of armor, this is what you see in the Warlord Titan. You get one of these big chunks of armor here, and then it quickly flies up and it shows you these cannons. Now, these might be something new. They look thicker than autocannons. Autocannons have that muzzle brake kind of thing on the end, but these could be battle cannons. Yes, they could be. They could be dual battle cannons that you normally get on a Lehman Russ. They look quite stubby ones. They might be called stubby battle cannons or something like that. But again, I'd raise a question about the ammo. If these are ballistic rather than energy, I don't know. They don't look energy. There's no sort of energy couplings there, but it might all be hidden in this armor piece. But there we go. They do look more kind of ballistic, I'd want to say, than energy. And here we have a little shot of these missiles. I want to say they're hunter killers. They could be souped up hunter killers with a bit more strength, probably more damage, something like that. They might be one use as well. They remind me of sort of like mini vortex missiles, again, that you get on Reaver Titans and sometimes on Warlord Titans. You've got this great symbol here for the Knightly House. There must be a ladder or some kind of footing on the other side. I can't remember from the first picture we saw, but there must be something to get this pilot up and into this cockpit here. It's still your standard cockpit opening hatch at the top of the Knight. Let's carry on, and then that's just another close-up of the head armor and the melters, and then there's another close-up of the massive plasma cannon as well. And then this is a very interesting shot because they do a 360, which is great. It's a huge reveal. It shows that the feet look the same, but then everything up, like even the legs and the pistons, look very different. It's in a different pose, leg wise. It's got these end of weapon barrels, I want to say, that's on the other Imperial Knights, but the exhaust stacks are huge and they're not protected at all. Very, very vulnerable, I want to say. The other Imperial Knight had the exhaust stacks at the top. These jut out the back, again at that kind of angle that the Warlord Titan has. You can see a better image here, better shot of this massive weapon that again just screams to me as more of an energy weapon than a ballistic sort of weapon. So what is this guy packing? Well, from the looks of it, it looks like some kind of turbo laser destructor. It also looks like a plasma eradicator or a bigger plasma eradicator weapon. He's definitely got 2 dual multi-melters and then probably 2 dual battle cannons and then the missiles. I can't see some kind of shield or iron shield, but no doubt he'll definitely be armoured with that. His armour is ridiculous. You've got the top armour carapace, which does leave these hanging weapons unshielded, which is a bit poor. And also these shoulder pauldrons are quite short. There's a bit of a gap there. However, he does get this sort of elbow joint armor, and he does get armor on the top of these like battle cannon weapons. Also got 2 big chunks of armor for the legs, for the shins, and a smaller bit of armor for the thighs. And if we look around here, he's also got this chest armor and a bit of groin armor and a little bit of something that's just hanging there. No, that's not his massive balls. It is just like a little knightly shield. But there you go. That's a bit better of a shot. And then it speeds up a bit. So you get a full 360 view. I'm not sure why they didn't carry on the armor round that way. Maybe heating issue, who knows, but they didn't. And it's interesting because it's got 2 of these round sort of power plant cog symbol things on the back. Maybe it's got 2 power plants in there, or maybe it's just one with you know, some extra gubbins and stuff. But very sort of top heavy. Definitely on the top of the shoulders. Has he skipped leg day though? That is the real question. He looks quite balanced actually, I want to say. But yeah, there you go. That is the full 360. Then you get a little bit of a shot with him going through some ruins, which is a bit, well, bit odd. I don't know why they didn't do that first, because it's sort of like teasing you a bit, and it doesn't really show you how big he is next to the armiger. And again, another cityscape. Obviously, these are exactly the places where you find these things. Not. You wouldn't find them in these big hive cities or anything like that. And Tau as well. I mean, yeah, okay, if you're fighting against Tau, then yeah, you probably would want to, you know, get as much cover as possible. But this is a great shot because this does show you the, you know, the size comparison to the armigers. It's a shame they didn't put any normal knight, Imperial Knights in here as well, though, for a big size comparison. Because I want to say that the Imperial Knights are, I don't think they're as tall as this big Castellan. I think they're getting there, definitely. But it's just that those extra weapons on the top that just give him a bit more of a height. So, yeah, as good as a shot as that is, that's a better one. So he's going to be a little bit bigger than Imperial Knight. So that's why, you know, price-wise, that's a very, very interesting one. If we say that the current Imperial Knight is £95, and it includes a couple of options for the carapace weapon, a couple of options for the side weapons, a couple of heads, things like that, and that's £95 with all of these extra little weapons, because I don't think these weapons are that much bigger at all than the standard Imperial Knights. I want to go for £120. You know, if it's 130 or 100, if it's £130 or more, that's going to be quite a disappointment. It really is. But I think £120. Hey, if it's the same price, this will sell like hotcakes. If this is £95, it will sell like hotcakes. But I think £120, a bit more realistic. I can't see it. If they price this at 150, then I don't think it will sell as many. I really don't. Yeah, £120 sort of limit, I want to say. But hey, could be cheaper. And there you go. So that is all of the video and the images of it. So yeah, I just wanted to do this video because I think because I wanted to do it justice, like I did with the Warlord Titan a few years ago now, actually, when sort of the first images were released. I don't think we're going to have to wait too long for this. Necron Codex today, I think, and then we've got the Dark Eldar Codex probably in a couple of weeks, so that's sometime in April. And I think I've read somewhere that you'll be available to get this kit at the Warhammer Fest. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere. So that is May. So that's beginning of May, guys. So not very long. If you haven't got your tickets already, suggest you go and get them. I got mine from Forge World because you don't have to pay for postage. Well, I didn't anyway. Whereas if you order them from Games Workshop, you have to pay you £3.50. So save you a little bit of money, which you know can go towards your Imperial Knight Castellan or whatever they choose to call it. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video. You can probably tell I'm very excited about this model. I love Imperial Knights, I love Walkers, I love Titans. You know, my Warlord Titan is my favourite model in my collection, and it's going to be great to get like a little mini one. Okay, anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.